in the 2018 NPL National Final Series. The champions of Tasmania, the Devonport Strikers, are playing host to the champions of Victoria, Heidelberg United, in this first final to kick off the final series.
And for tonight's away team, Heidelberg United FC. The starting 11, number 1, Christopher Theodoridis Petropoulos, the goalkeeper. Number 7, Ruben Way. Number 8, Andrew Gazanos. Number 9, Adrian Zara. Number 10, Jack Petrie. Number 12, Harvey Reed. Number 13, and the captain, Luke Biles. Number 16, Thomas Cahill. Number 17, Thomas Pace. Number 19, Sean Ellis. And number 22, Alexander Chiavo. On the substitute bench for Heidelberg United, number 2, Joshua Wilkins. Number 6, Lewis Hall. Number 18, George Salakidis. Number 23, Christian Pavlidis. And number 25, Attila Hoffley. And Devonport, your home team, the Devonport Strikers. Number 1, and goalkeeper Nathan Pitchford.
Number 3, Dominic Smith.
I think they're going to come out here.
Number 4, Eddie Bidwell. Number 5, Guillermo Lascarno. Number 6, Jesse Dan. Number 8, Kieran Mulroney. Number 9, and your captain, Braden Mann. Number 10, Michael Holden. Number 12, Bo Blizzard. Number 18, Joel Stone. And number 26, Kynan West. And on the substitutes bench for the Devonport Strikers, number 7, Harry Crocker. Number 11, Adriano Jelenovic. Number 15, Liam Knott. Number 16, Henry Andrews. And number 21, Thomas Pierce. And tonight's match officials, your referee is Tony Pert, assistant referees Nathan Code and Thomas Mace, and the fourth official this evening is Brenton Copra.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Valley Road for this first elimination final in the 2018 NPL National Final Series. It's the Devonport Strikers of Tasmania hosting Heidelberg United FC. We've got a minute's silence to begin. Minute silence there, and we are not too far away from kickoff here at Valley Road, the champions of Tasmania against the champions of Victoria, and indeed the defending champions of this very competition, Heidelberg. I'm Andrew Calling. Well, Slice of Cheese commentary team sliding in alongside me in this wonderfully erected scaffold we've got here for the occasion is Paul Hunter. Very good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Andrew Cooling. A pleasure to be here, as always, particularly with the addition of the scaffolding here at Valley Road, giving us a wonderful bird's eye view over the ground out to the Gordon Rimmer stand, and a pretty full house in there at the moment, as is in front of the club rooms here. Devonport bringing a good contingency here for this big game this afternoon, or this evening I should say. It's been a pretty good day here in Devonport. Forecast was rain, and some in the Devonport faithful are asking for that, wanted it to maybe possibly even the playing field a tad with a bit boggier pitch as we saw in the FFA Cup 2 years ago, but not prevailing today. And look, given it's the end of the season, Valley Road is in pretty good nick, and I'm expecting a pretty heated contest between these two teams.
Yeah, look, all things considered, the pitch in very good condition. About a month ago it was in a pretty rough state, but it's been had action kept off it perhaps a little bit over the last month. A lot of games being played on the synthetic pitch out behind the Gordon Rimmer stand there, and it's kept the pitch in pretty good nick, so it certainly won't be like the monsoonal conditions we saw the last time the Strikers hosted a national game here. Of course, Lake Devonport forming in one of the penalty areas that evening. You had 30-yard balls over the top just landing and pitching in mud. It was a very different occasion, and it probably did help the Strikers, who employed a very much park the bus type mentality. That might be a little more expensive today, but we saw against Avondale in the FFA Cup, they're not afraid of sitting in deep. The Strikers 11 quickly for you. Nathan Pitchford in goals, Dom Smith, Eddie Bidwell, Guillermo Lascano, and Kira Mulroney the back four. Braden Mann leading the line, flanked by Michael Holden, and a big debut for the year for Kynan West, Joel Stone, Bo Blizzard. The rest of the 11. For Heidelberg, we've got Theodorus Petropoulos in goals, Ruben Way, Kartonis, Zara, Petrie, Reed, Biles, Cahill, Pace, Ellis, Chiavo. That is a lightning round reading there, because we are underway here at Valley Road. Tony Peart, our official in the middle here this evening. Joel Stone with his foot on the ball. This is going to be a cracking encounter. The Strikers, of course, have played two Victorian teams in recent times. They beat Northcote, but fell to Avondale. Do you give them a chance this evening, Paul?
Oh, I certainly do give them a chance. I mean, it might be a bit of bias, and given I've seen a bit more of Devonport Strikers than I have of Heidelbergers, they're going to quickly lay it out first time. Thought he was going for a shot there, Braden Mann, from the kickoff. That would have been some start. I definitely give Devonport a chance. I do think Heidelberg are rightful favourites here, given their pedigree, back-to-back Victorian champions, current NPL champions, obviously defeating Perth Glory in the FFA Cup last year, so they come with a good pedigree, but Devonport well in it on this occasion, I think, tonight.
Dom Smith knocks it back to Bo Blizzard. His pass not quite link up there with Dom Smith. Moved back to his preferred side as a left-back today, it would seem. He's got Michael Holden offering coverage, so defensive setup. Mulroney gets his foot on it, but here's Zara. Maxim Rhodes down the right. Fullback now in Reed will just let it run and take the throw in. You'd expect that the visitors are going to control the bulk of possession today, and here's an early chance here and a free kick in a promising position. The lively Ellis on the ball, and we know the threat Sean Ellis possesses. The Strikers going to be needing to be really careful around him tonight.
Absolutely, and then going into the box, they've got a pretty good amount of tall timber here in the box as well. Its pace looks particularly likely, as does the fullback Reed. Devonport will have to be wary. They wouldn't want to concede on set pieces. Underdog teams, generally, you've got to try and keep pretty tight over the set piece. Two in the wall. Nathan Pitchford, who won the Golden Glove Award last week, in goal.
So it's going to be Ellis to take, and he strings it straight into the wall. The rebound comes out, and this one's chipped in by Zara to the back post, knotted down. That'll be well wide of Pitchford's net. who started the season a little bit slowly, the strikers keeper, but really rounding into top form in the final couple of months, was an absolute pillar at the back for them as the Strikers stormed their second league title in 3 years. They were very impressive down the stretch, just dropping the one game in the last 7 weeks, despite 2 FFA Cup games. So despite the heavy schedule, they've been good, but certainly when it comes to heavy schedules, they come much more crammed than Heidelberg's month is looking in September, with FFA Cup and National Final Series and Victorian Final Series. Plenty of it, but an early opening here. It's a great chance. The flag's down. He blazes wide. Chiavo, huge chance there. Puts his hand to his face. What an opening that was, and the Strikers with a real let-off there.
Well, opted for power. There did the striker Schiavo, but probably should have just placed it. Pitchford didn't come out terribly quickly to close the angle. He had a bit of time, found the gap between Smith and Mulraney, and just hit it. Went with the laces. Probably should have gone across goal there rather than trying to aim high into the net. As Pitchford kicks it into the glorious night sky here at Valley Road. Joel Stone finds it in the middle of the park, but stuck in a pretty heated sandwich there of Heidelberg players. Out wide, we have Katanos on the left wing, charging past one. Now going past Lascano. There's 2 in the box for Heidelberg, but well covered in the end from Guillermo Lascano. We call him the king down here, and I think that's a good example why.
Yeah, the Spanish Ledley king. He's held together by rubber bands, this man, the centre half, but he's had a fantastic season. I think he's quite clearly been the class of central defenders in the NPL Tasmania this year. I think you'd, doing your power rankings, you'd slot him in at number 1. He'll certainly be a lock in the team of the week to come out next year, I'd have thought. There's a big early corner opportunity here for Heidelberg. Swung in, Pitchford comes, he punches only as far as the tip of the box, laid back and curling it just wide of the mark. Was the fullback there in a Ruben Way, who I think we're going to roll with the sandwich for this evening.
Yeah, I think the sandwich there, but he's nearly put it on the highway there with that shot, Ruben Way. He's not like someone trying to get through the entrance gate there, as we see people still coming in here to Valley Road. It's a packed day of sport up on the northwest coast, and they're just trickling in as the game's kicked off here. Pitchford now with his second goal kick of the match. Braden Mann up top. This one's going to go in the direction of Turtle Holden, who's probably not going to quite win that height advantage over the sandwich this evening. Ruben Way on the ball. Katanos. Heidelberg keeping possession well, looking down the line. It's a good run forward. Katanos, and again, it's Kieran Mulraney this time with a heavy touch after the good challenge, but wins the throw in.
Yeah, a real rugged central defender, Kieran Mulraney. For those who wouldn't have seen much of him, he's a physical customer. He does his best work in the air, as does a man notably absent from the Strikers team sheet this evening, Miles, the Fox in the box, Barnard, breaks in the FFA Cup. He's unfortunately in Bali at the moment, so a blow there up top for the Strikers, which means Braden Mann will lead the line tonight. There's a chance down the right building here. The cross comes in near post. Lascano steers that one away to Joel Stone. Back to Dance. Looks up. The Strikers haven't been able to maintain a foot on the ball yet in this one, but this is moving all right down the right. The overlapping Eddie Bidwell, the Energizer buddy down the right. He's got Braden Mann peeling off towards the back post. He's unable to get in behind of Way there as the sandwich slides in and just kicks that one into touch.
Good challenge in the end there from the sandwich, and obviously the Fox in the box bursting into the national conscious last month with his double in the FFA Cup. Hopefully he's enjoying a casual bintang on the beach, as that's not a foul call despite the protestations of the crowd. Solid challenge being read there, and Schiavo now on the right-hand side, 2 streaming forward for Heidelberg. Smith trying to get back. Can't quite get there. There's a player over here. Ellis has missed it. Stayed onside. No, offside. Will not count, and puts it wide anyway. The offside flag was raised in the end, saving the Strikers' blushes, but another good opportunity for Heidelberg.
Yeah, Tom Cahill just didn't quite hold his run there, and a good decision by the linesman Nathan Code. Here's Dom Smith up in his preferred left fullback side, and he just knocks it long for Braden Mann, who had strayed. And you get the feeling it might be a long night for Braden Mann up top. He's going to be feeding on scraps, so he'll be knocking long balls over the top. He's got a phenomenal work rate, and he'll keep hounding away at these central defenders all night. But I think it's going to be a fairly direct approach we can expect from Devonport tonight, Paul.
Yeah, it certainly is. Braden Mann obviously cleaning up at the awards night last Saturday night with Player of the Season and the Golden Boot winner. He's had a few exceptional seasons here. He's the leading goal scorer in the NPL TAS history by an absolute country mile. Over 30 goals this season included, as the ball falls Out wide to Ellis, looking down the line. It's Reed. Mulroney coming across. Whacks that one into touch. Okay. Heidelberg on ball retrieval duty there from the fan, knocking it into the car park. It'll be Reed to take the throw in. Knocks it in short to Petrie. Attempted clearance. Dom Smith trying to get rid of it. Still down in the corner for Heidelberg. And that's surely out of play. It's one of the few things I can see from our scaffolding position here, but that definitely looked out of play.
Yeah, clearly just running out of real estate there was Ellis, but we've seen his skill on the ball early, and they've got another opening here. It's laid back to that man Ellis. He curls it in, and poor delivery on that occasion. Easily gathered by Pitchford. He'll get things moving pretty quickly for the Strikers. Long and strong. No one really down there. Holden making a bursting run now, but it's easy pickings there for the centre half as he nods back to his keeper there, Biles, known as the Iceman, I'm told, and very composed there, but I'm sure he'll have tougher challenges to deal with this evening than that Route 1 attempt.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why the keeper threw it out. There were some calls to knock it out. A lot of confusion going on out here. Tony Pert.
Flat ball, I think, is what's being suggested. The keeper's whacked it out because he's not happy. The Strikers have assumed that that was just a miss kick.
A miss kick, or I thought it was an injury further downfield.
So eventually we'll get a restart, but look, the ball good enough for the referee's liking, evidently. Eddie Bidwell will take the throw in. He goes long looking for Braden Mann. The Strikers' biggest threat is Mann. He curls this one looking for Holden. They're going to be the real movers and shakers that Heidelberg will need to watch out for tonight.
Absolutely, and those out there not familiar with Tony Pert, former assistant referee in the Championship and League One over in the UK. He's come over to Tasmania this year and is likely to be one of the ARs in the A-League this season, so very experienced referee. As Bidwell looking to take the throw in. A couple of options. One is West, flicked over the top, but headed clear from the Iceman. It's now Bo Blizzard trying to get some width. He's put that a little too far out of his defender in Dom Smith, whose heavy touch gives Ellis a chance to put a toe in. Devonport trying to get their foot on the ball here a little bit as Mann manages to win a corner. So Devonport getting down their attacking end and showing some good intent after a nervy first few minutes.
Yeah, just settling in a little, the Strikers, as Joel Stone strides across to take the corner. An absolutely blistering touch, this man, Joel Stone. It's been an emerald, this Stone, over the last month. And he'll curl this one, goes near post, just over the head, flicked on top of the box and cleared away there by Zara. Giving chase out wide is Alexander Sciano to his fullback, and Heidelberg get control. The Strikers have pushed up a little bit. There might be some room in behind. Good pressure from Turtle Holden, although still a little bit too physical for Tony Pert's liking. And free kick here for the Burgers.
Not a bad foul to give away, though, from Turtle Holden. They were really looking to switch the play there, Heidelberg, but a little bit of a tactical foul there from Holden and relieves the pressure on his team. And Devonport end up with possession at Stone. Just about runs out of real estate in front of us. Kept in play. It's now Adrian Zara. Down the line to Harvey Reid, who's been willing to bomb on from right back all evening. Cross not forthcoming initially from Katanos. Ends up going out. It's a good ball, and Pitchford rises high to claim well. Pitchford looking for the immediate hoof forward.
Eventually he launches it. Braden Mann will compete in the air there with pace, who came over the top and won it, only as far as Joel Stone. Eddie Bidwell breaking into a little bit of room. He puts it out in front of him, too far ahead there. As Bidwell was looking to charge on, get used to his overlapping runs, one of the more offensive-minded fullbacks in the state. This one's dropped off for Petrie, aka the dish. Drops this one back to the sandwich. Now pace. Down the line they go. Kieran Mulroney leading Chiavo to the ball. Running out of room there. Box it in is the shout from the Heidelberg bench. Their plan quite clear. Press up the field, restrict the space. The Strikers won't be looking to over-possess the ball in defence, though. We've seen their intent early is to get the ball forwards quickly. likes of Braden Mann and Michael Holden in attack, who are not short of leg speed. Some serious wheels on those two. Knocking it over them to chase. Be their best avenue. Here's Joel Stone. He's a game breaker himself, but Zara, former Melbourne Hart, back in the day striker, works it up here to Tom Cahill. Cahill, back for Zara. Getting the ball around nicely. It's the dish now. Patiently stroking it round, probing, looking for an opening. Cahill, back for Petrie. Zara sends it wide now, and the cross comes in for Katonis. Blocked away though. Dance carrying it out, just a little too casual, got closed down. Pace, centre half pushing up. Zara, wearing ball, Braden Mann working back in defence. He's a workhorse, the striker skipper. Now Joel Stone on the break with a left foot raking ball, looking for the salad kind West. It's spilt the way of Braden Mann, and Bidwell's bursting into space down the right. Two to pick out for Bidwell. He puts it in the Holden direction, but Pace was perched back there. Heidelberg is going to take better delivery than that.
I think he was originally looking for Kine and
West.
West.
Stone with a snapshot. Way to drop there, Paul.
That's all right.
This is Joel Stone does. He's the type of player who can produce that moment of magic. He's an audacious customer. He will take the long-range shot on, and he scored a few from distance this year.
A couple at Launceston City's home ground at Buckby Land Rover Park ring a bell throughout the NPL TAS season. I was just thinking, I think the original aim there was for Kine and West, and Bidwell just hit it behind Holden. In the end, as Lescano, the king, gets his head onto that one. Bit of body on there. Gallo screaming for a free kick on Jesse Dance. And it's been heated. And we'll see what Devonport decide to do from this one. They have elected to send the tall timber up, so they're looking to take advantage of every set-piece opportunity and really play for some distance and get it in the box.
Oh, Blizzard very good over the dead ball too, although no Miles Barnard to try and pick out. Instead, he'll head towards Mulroney and nodded on by their centre half. He's very good in the air, as we said earlier. Seems to win an enormous amount of his aerial duels, but no quality on that occasion. As they attack now through Ellis. Slides it through, dangerous ball for Chiavo. Mulroney does nicely. He's the big centre half. Unfortunately, his distribution not matching. Yeah,
didn't think he wanted Mann to make the run over the top there rather than come short. A bit of a miscommunication there between the strikers. As the ball spread out wide in the direction of Reed. Under pressure is the centre half, but doing well to intercept, as does Dance. Looking down the line to Holden. The miscue might fall to Stone. Maybe Biles and Schiavo. It's the Petrie dish. And the ball has indeed gone out of play. It's perched right underneath us here in the commentary position. Ball down the line, Joel Stone. Now Mann, good pass from Mann looking for Holden. Heidelberg under pressure in the corner and conceding the throw in. Good pressure there from Turtle Holden. Double-digit assists in the NPL TAS this year for Turtle Holden. It'll be Pace. Looks it down the line only as far as Blizzard. This is Joel Stone territory, lays it off to Dance. Slide challenge, nothing given from Pert. Eventually gives the free kick, and I'd say Joel Stone's going to head straight for this one.
Oh, he might have some competition from Braden Mann, though. A few hungrier than Braden Mann, and Michael Holden also lurking about, but the striker skipper charges straight across the ball and says, I'll have this one. And he'll have his first sighted goal of the evening. He's the NPL Tasmania's leading marksman. Won the best and fairest medal last Saturday night. He polled 40 votes, second place polled 19. That's the type of season Braden Mann has had. He's been a dominant force in Tasmanian football for the best part of the last decade, and this has been his best season yet. And can he cap it all off with a big goal on the national stage? He steps up here, Mann. He kills it straight into the wall and just dinks one back in. Good ball, that. And cleared away by Pace in the end. Teasing ball, and the counter-attack now might be on for the Burgers. They're charging down the right here. Well worked back by Michael Holden there on Chiavo.
Great pace there for Michael Holden. Was picked out during the first FFA Cup game this year as one of the best players on the park for Devonport. Obviously had a stint for a little while at Melbourne Victory Youth a few years ago. And he's another player that's really come on leaps and bounds here and really rises to the big occasion. He's a great big game performer. Is Turtle Holden. It's Heidelberg taking the throw in. Looking inside. Still keeping possession well here. Petri dish knocks it down the line, but no one making the run there in the end. Looking to box them in again is the call from the Heidelberg bench. Devonport, after having rode the first 5 to 10 minutes here, looking a lot more composed. His throw in down the line is given away and goes as far as pace. He now gives it away to Kynan West. Stone is furthest forward. And in the end, Sean Ellis tracking all the way back from an attacking position. Mulroney in a wrestling match with Cahill. Surely use of an elbow from Schiavo.
Well, he's protesting the point, but won't matter, the decision going the striker's way. I thought in the FFA Cup against Avondale, it was abundantly clear after 30 minutes that the strikers were being played off the park in that one. They copped a couple of early goals, did fight back, but it did seem to be quite the golf in class. But they're matching it up a little bit better with Heidelberg so far in this one. They're a bit more settled on their home pitch as Braden Mann nods it back down towards Blizzard. But again, the Burgers able to win it away, and Mann just getting in the back there. A free kick loan into the Petri dish.
He'll argue every refereeing decision, Braden Mann, but that's probably the most obvious free kick we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, he's fairly one-eyed, shall we say, in his judgment of decisions. Is the DOS, as this one worked out down the left, cutting inside of Kynan West, and Heidelberg have got a few up in attack here. Schiavo spreads it wide. Katranos now cutting inside. Oh, good dummy from Cahill for Schiavo! And a good save from Pitchford. That was sharp movement there. Lovely dummy run from Cahill. Schiavo can't quite put it either side of Pitchford.
Oh, got good power on the shot in the end, and Pitchford had to get down low. It was in that gap between sort of knee and arm where it can occasionally fall under the goalkeeper, but Pitchford got down low well. Lovely patient build-up from Heidelberg. Worked it from one way to the other. They'll now go longer in the Cahill direction. Mulroney clears. And the ball down there between the sandwich. Battling calls for a free kick from the far side. In the end, it's run out of play by the strikers, and Ruben Way will take the throw. Very partisan home crowd on the far side of the ground. Flick on header, looking in the Schiavo direction. There's Carno. Devonport really being pressured as soon as they get on the ball, especially in the halfway area. Heidelberg really want to win it back around that halfway and launch Cahill or a winger immediately, it looks like.
Yeah, been enjoying Cahill's scrap with Mulroney in this one. Some pretty tough customers, it would seem, based off the opening exchanges here. We've been in constant wrestling matches as Mann charges the keeper down there, and the hyphen gets himself into a little bit of trouble. Theodoros Petropoulos, okay, the hyphenator, just learned a lesson about Braden Mann. He's got terrific closing speed. And he was honing in on him there.
It's not far away at all, Braden Mann. Yeah, just got away in the nick and time, did the hyphenator. Pitchford is under no such pressure at the moment. He'll be looking in the Mann direction, going over his head. Turtle Holden running onto it. In two minds whether to lay it back to the hyphenator. He clears pretty well this time. Heidelberg now looking to press, but that's well done from Blizzard. Calls for offside, eventually heated on Turtle Holden. Devonport really keeping their wingers pressed really high and having Braden Mann and whoever's in the centre of the park drop back to do a lot of pressing, but West and Holden in particular staying up really high here for the Strikers.
Yeah, huge game this for Kynan West. Hasn't been a regular in the Strikers team this season. He's been thrust into a key starting role and acquitting himself all right so far. He'll be on the end of this Holden ball. He's going to have to turn and chase. There's the overlapping Eddie Bidwell storming onto it. Well dealt with there by Ruben Way, though. Into the middle for Zara. Zara for Schiavo, who's looked lively. Left it for Cahill. Now Reed looks to take the man on. And working back well was Turtle Holden, just offering that extra level of protection for Dom Smith, who will eventually be allowed to take the throw-in. Chested down by Mann. And there's the icy wind. Bo Blizzard knocking it in the west direction. Commanding header, though, by the sandwich. Into the middle for Blizzard. Ungainly attempted a clearance there from Reed, just trying to chest it on to Kartanos.
It's lucky he got that much purchase on it because Turtle Holden had an absolute acre down this left-hand side. didn't quite get enough on it, did Reed. And it'll be Dom Smith to take the throw. Calls for a foul throw in from the Heidelberg bench. Smith, the icy win, Bo Blizzard. Oh, Cahill tracking back, winning the ball well. That's a pretty average challenge from Dom Smith. Now we'll see the first slice of cheese, I think, dished out here. Tony Pert has the cheddar at ready.
Having a stern talking to with Stone and Mann, though neither the offenders in this scenario, but that's one of the more clear-cut slices of cheese you'll see. Real hardy Gouda number, that one. Dom Smith, he's just caught out of position. A bit of a reckless challenge, that one. And leaves the referee with no alternative. And now he's going to have to walk that tightrope. And he had a tough time of it in the FFA Cup up against Elvis Campsober, Avondale. And one would expect, whether it's Ellis or Cartanos running at him tonight, they're going to focus their attacks down this flank now. Try and target the youngster a bit.
I think they were anyway, looking at previous Devonport game footage, but even more so, I think the right wing will be a popular area for Heidelberg. This one's launched into the box, flick on header, and it's given for a goal kick. No Devonport touch in the end. Cahill rising high. Pitchford to take the goal kick. And he's had a few years out of the game at this level, as Nathan Pitchford. And after a quiet couple of games, he's really come on strong this season. And he launches it long down the line. Nice flick from Bidwell. Mann using his body well to roll the defender. Still got the ball, Braden Mann. Couldn't get the forward pass, so it goes back to Dance. He's immediately harried and pressured. It will be Mulraney, who is all right foot. Couldn't quite find Mann. It's now Cartanos. Manages to get the ball forward, and now Zara is tripped by Blizzard. And the icy wind now will get a talking to. It wasn't quite as malicious as the one before, though. It's more tactical rather than a bit of a scything challenge from the side.
Yeah, I think that'll be his one warning, Bo Blizzard. I mean, this is the type of grunt work he does in the midfield. He's had a fantastic season, and certainly incredibly highly rated. I think I snuck him into 5th place on my end-of-year MVP ballot. I think the season he's had, he's been super important for the champions in that defensive midfield role. And taken quickly, Reed sends it wide for Cartanos here. Running and getting in behind of Holden. Cartanos well away, but only as far as Reed, who, well, nutmegs himself in the end. That was a bit ungainly. Braden Mann pouncing on it. Caught between his legs, and then eventually he'll chip one back in for Dance. He'll turn and spy Eddie Bidwell in acres of space down the right. He picks him out. He's got Kynan West in the middle here to go back and take it. Now he's going to run up the defence. A step over from Bidwell. The young fullback beats one, but the experience of pace there. Well, in fact, Ellis tracking back in there and then draws the foul. Classy stuff there. And Ellis, who we were told to look out for, Sean Ellis in attack tonight, he's doing some really good work tracking back and defending.
Yeah, he hasn't had too many opportunities in front of goal so far, Sean Ellis, but has made 2 crucial challenges in defence. Eddie Bidwell, you'll notice, gets up and down the park, has an exceptional work rate. Worked himself quite literally sick in the FFA Cup game the first time this season against Northcote, and possibly should have looked for an option in the middle of the park there. Tried one too many touches. That's the thing I've really noticed, the difference, the step up between NPL TAS and this final series. You can usually get 3 touches max in NPL TAS, and in this it's 1 and 2 is at most, and that's really where the difference is, I think.
Yeah, time on the ball is the big thing that really stands out at you, and the strikers have fortunately been involved in some big games this year with the heat on, and have been pressured a little bit more, which will stand them in good stead. The 2 FFA Cup games, of course. There's now an opening for Cahill. He slides it through, looking for Zara. Zara cuts it back to the top of the box. No one there, though, for the Burgers. And Bo Blizzard should be able to clear the area. Just punches this one wide, but never gave Turtle Holden a chance. Poor delivery in the end, and that's another part of what you were talking about there, with time on the ball can lead to panic decisions. You don't quite have the time you do to pick a pass. Long ball from pace. Again, Cahill playing that target man role. It falls for the Petrie dish. Plays a 1-2, and now he's racing towards goal. Petrie, his shot blocked away. Falls into the path of Cartanos. He'll just let it run out for a corner. And swing another ball in and test this striker's defence. And defer the duties for Sean Ellis. They take it short, and they've caught them out here. Drives to the byline to Zara. Beats one. Braden Mann checking back. Still going Zara. In the end, the final shot was poor. Bit of a tepid effort in the end, but eye-catching in the build-up.
Yeah, doing well there, Zara, but maybe doing what I called Eddie Bidwell out before and just trying to take on that one player too many. Nearly down the line, but Ruben Way, the sandwich gets in the way. Mulroney hoofs it clear. And this will just give Devonport time to reset. Braden Mann will chase everything down. Kynan West as well. Puts him under pressure. There's Cano. The Spanish King launches it forward. Fortunately over the head of Braden Mann. And the hyphenator. And it's time to pick a pass. Looks out wide to Katanos. It'll be Dom Smith getting there first. The coach of Heidelberg there before, George Katsiakis, was not particularly happy with Adrian Zara's effort off the corner there before. We've got him right underneath us here in the commentary box. Advantage paid, and Schiavo will look out wide to Way, but just outside the feet of the sandwich. Much to the cheers of those in the Gordon Rimmer stand.
The one just lands on the salad, the immaculately kept salad of Kynan West. Good to see him in the starting lineup. We've been deprived of that haircut a little bit this year. Just magnificently crafted that one, as this one's into the middle, nodded forward and tracked down by Schiavo, who's been incredibly lively so far tonight. Now Ellis for Cahill, bit of a sloppy touch, lets in Dom Smith, who's just going to chip it out in front of Holden and say, go get it, boy, and that's exactly what he does. Michael Holden now having a run at pace. He's driving into the box. He's got two to pick out in the middle. He drives it and deflects into the back of the net. It's an own goal and the Devonport Strikers lead. Oh, an unfortunate deflection, but a driving run from Michael Holden has brought about the game's first goal and set Valley Road alight.
Oh, Valley Road is erupting here with delight. Lovely ball from Dom Smith in the build-up. Got Turtle Holden one-on-one. First time he's had that all day. Managed to jink past the defender. Turned on the V8s. And when you put the ball in the mixer, you're always liable for the defender chopping back. And off the studs. Well, I think it was Stephen Pace sliding in there.
Yeah, the keeper just deceived. He was anticipating getting across to the other side of his goal and couldn't track back to it. And the strike as well. It was from nothing really. Just stormed into the box. Holden had a couple to pick out, put the cross in. And an element of fortune about it, but they take the lead, and they're a very good side playing with a lead, Devonport. They're a tough team to break down when they sit in, and now it's on to the Burgers who need to chase the game. Katanos trying to make an immediate response and just gets body checked by Bo Blizzard, who gets away with it, who felt Katanos went down a little bit too easy. He's now got a few words to say. The ground announcer just informing everyone here there was an own goal a moment ago. And got to say, enjoying it a little bit there on the PA announcement, Cammy Douglas. Giving it plenty. Fair to say the Heidelberg bench not in agreement with that lack of a foul on Bo Blizzard there. Tony Pert copying a slight earful there from the bench.
Yes, but as mentioned, I'm sure Tony's heard worse from some of the lower division English games in his time, and now a foul on Joel Stone, squaring up. We saw Devonport play a little bit of a role in Northcote player being sent off in the FFA Cup. Joel Stone also is another player who doesn't mind a bit of chit-chat.
Oh, he is full of lip, Stoney, and he is just dishing it right back out to the crowd here. And Bo Blizzard, never shy of a word himself, just went straight over to Katanos and tried to wind him up a little. They're quite proficient in the dark arts, a few of these strikers, boys. Bo Blizzard is one of the best when it comes to that sort of thing.
Oh, I think that trio of Mann, Blizzard and Stone is the ultimate triangle of dark arts work nearly in the whole of NPL TAS, certainly at Devonport, as Joel Stone whips this one to the back post. Les Carno's there, hyphenator, beaten underneath it, tunnelled, not intentionally, hits the head. And eventually Heidelberg scramble it away, only as far as Kynan West. He's immediately surrounded, just getting a foot in, and it's at the post! Guillermo Lazcano from 25 out. How about that from the big Spanish centre-back?
I've not seen that all season from the Spaniard. That might be his first shot. It wasn't a bad one either, within a whisker of doubling the Strikers' lead, and their tails are up here, and the Heidelberg team, who came in as warm favourites, Just looking a little bit rattled for the first time this evening. I'm sure it won't last long. They're a very professional outfit, but Devonport need to take advantage while they're surging, and Bo Blizzard will just set it out in front of Turtle Holden once more. Holden driving at this defence, weaving one way then the other, left the ball behind though, and that allows Katanos to get in. Holden quickly winning it back for the Strikers. Poor pass though, picked off, and Heidelberg look to launch the counter. Bo Blizzard getting in there ahead of Shiano, and another free kick blown. And their frustrations are just starting to boil over here for the Burgers.
Well, as they're saying in the sports world, once you start playing the man rather than game, you're liable to be at a loss. And I think that's what's happened to Heidelberg the last 5 to 10 minutes. Just starting to play more the player. A bit too much back chat there. They've really got to focus on the essentials of what they'll do in the first half hour of this game. So it's what they were doing best.
And complete control then, but Stone swings this one to the back post. The hyphen drops it and then quickly regathers, but a couple of handling problems from the hyphenator so far. And that's a good ball though, the distribution to Ellis. Oh, he couldn't beat Eddie Bidwell though. Bidwell now charging forwards for the Strikers. Has to hold it up and tried to slide it through the legs of Zara. Wasn't having that. Down the line for Ellis. Ellis for the dish. And slow the tempo down once more and just try and steady things, but took a rather rash clearance. Oh, Lascano skews that horribly. It might fall for Ellis. They're on here, Heidelberg. Slides it for Cayley. Treads on the ball. Goes back and recovers it. And then loses it again. It's just all getting a little bit sloppy here. This slick passing outfit we normally see from Heidelberg, not quite on display at this moment.
Such a contrast from early in the game. Heidelberg moving it around almost at will, particularly in the middle of the park. Still couldn't quite finish it off in the front third, but this last 5 minutes, in terms of trying to just play a nice passing game, they've been really put off their game here, and there's another example. Theodoridis Petropoulos just knocking that one straight out of play. Braden Mann, the workhorse, but still just a 1v1 in that situation. It'll be Bidwell to take the throw in. Gets the ball back, looked for West, but wins the throw in eventually. Down in front of the Valley Road Elite is Eddie Bidwell. Knocks it short to Stone. Tries to play the 1-2, but well intercepted. Now Heidelberg, this is where they were good before, breaking up the play and then spreading it wide. Looked for Cahill, but Lascano, Blizzard and Dance just about do enough. Good header from Bo Blizzard. Chases the right back down. In front of us is Katanos. Nice 1-2, but Mulraney comes across. It'll be Smith to Stone. Clipping at his heels. Now Bo Blizzard. Beats one, can't beat two. Stone calls for handball, not heeded by Tony Pert. Now Cahill in a foot race with Mulraney, gets there first, keeps the ball. Cahill still going, whips it into the box, but that's where he would have been, the central striker, and eventually Bidwell knocks it clear.
Kynan West up against the sandwich there, Ruben Way. And quickly taken throw in, bounding forward is Bidwell, who charges straight into the teeth of the defence. And it was the Iceman in Luke Biles who shut that one down. They could use a little bit of the Iceman at the moment. Could the Burgers. This game just drifting away slightly. Devonport having their best spell of the game. Heidelberg still well and truly in it though. Still, despite trailing, I think they'll be too panicked just yet. Here is the icy wind in Bo Blizzard. Across to Dom Smith. He's got a bit of swagger about him all of a sudden, and that one's charged down. And will it go out for a corner or stay in here for pace? The defender able to tidy up at the back, and he just chips it straight into the path of Dance. Dance now sliding it through, looking for West. Recovering with pace, and puts it out in front of Ellis, with Bidwell for company. Ellis striding forwards, the Devonport back and number. Cross to the back post for Cahill. The target man eventually holds it up and needs some support. Comes in the form of Katanos. He drives at this defence, slides it through, chipped over the top. And Chiavo couldn't quite control it. And again, Devonport holding on at the back and not looking overly troubled in the last 15 minutes.
No, it's been by far Devonport's best spell of the match, but clearances like that from Pitchford won't endear himself to his attackers, right to the feet of pace. Go out wide, forward run in the end from Zara. Cutting inside, but not having a lot of options. Cahill eventually wins it and then passes it right to Dom Smith. He wanted Turtle Holden further afield. Goes inside Stone with a heavy touch. Should have left that for his best mate, Braden Mann. Luke Biles trying to restart, but only as far as Dance. Bidwell has time on the ball, but West was slightly on his heels there on the wing, was the youngster. Bidwell coming across. Just cut across the Heidelberg player and possibly went down a tad too easy, at least according to the fans on that side of the ground. Headed clear from Biles. Eventually it'll fall out for a Devonport throw. Ruben Way trying to storm down the wing.
Definitely looking far more comfortable, Devonport, for an opening 10 minutes where Heidelberg pretty much complete control. But they've done pretty well shutting down the creation of chances from Heidelberg. There haven't been too many clear-cut looks on goal tonight, and the game's only goal coming via a freak deflection. Michael Holden's cross turned into the back of the net, giving the Strikers this lead with under 10 minutes left in the first half now, as the Burgers looking to get level. Across to Schiavo. Schiavo just overcooks it, trying to pick out Kartanos. It's just all coming unstuck in the final third right now for the champions of Victoria.
Seeming quite similar to Devonport's 2016 FFA Cup game against Lambton Jaffers, so they scored early on, got that goal, and then really sat back. Obviously, the weather that night played an impact, but I think we'll see a similar game plan. And on that night, and a very well-oiled machine, particularly in the middle of the park in defence. And if not, they've even improved since then with Chris Gallo at the helm as Braden Mann manages to win the header against pace. Falls to the Petri dish, to Pitchford. Composure from the Devonport keeper. Smith in a pocket of space is Stone, but he's completely miscued that chip. Oh, Michael Holden's gone crashing into the advertising hoarding. He got pushed into that there. He's just managing to get to his feet. That made a hell of a crunch on the Colorbond sign there.
Yeah, it's a pretty wet surface out there, and you'll see how far he slides here. Just got a little nudge, nothing malicious at all. He just took off. It was just a never-ending slide there from Holden until he went smacking on into the fence as Cahill takes this one down, but the striker's able to win the free kick. Cahill cleaning up Bo Blizzard in his follow-through. And I think probably intentional there, just allow his defence to get set. Bo Blizzard showing the effects of the challenge. We're ticking closer to half-time now. Devonport will be delighted to head in with the lead. They're not too far away from achieving that either. The underdogs entering this one, but their home surface, they've been a very tough commodity this year. Bo Blizzard swings it in. Cleared away as far as Kartanos. Kartanos will try and take it past Dance. Couldn't do so. Lovely play there from Jesse Dance. Unfortunately, the pass didn't match the defensive work. Couldn't find Braden Mann. Pace. Dropping deep here is the Petri dish and getting himself into trouble too and just swinging his leg rather wildly. That'll be a free kick in a good position. Slice of cheddar coming out from Tony Pert as well, I believe. He's got the pen and paper ready. The Petri dish not wanting to come over and acknowledge it. Just that first touch off the greasy surface just went out of his grasp, and it's one of those things where you're lunging to retrieve the ball you've originally controlled, but just over the top. And now Devonport with another chance to strike close before half-time. Joel Stone with another chance to try and conjure something from the dead ball. Creative force of Stone. What can he produce here? He puts it far too centrally. Easy there for the hyphenator. He'll eat that up all evening. Ooh. And then did the ball leave his hand? Not quite, as this one's smashed wide. Blizzard again competing with Kartanos. The throw in will go the way of the Burgers. And the fullback Reed, who was an ever-present threat in the early going, has not been getting forward quite as often in recent times. Bo Blizzard clearing the area here. And now they'll push back up the field. Braden Mann leading the charge. Devonport, game going the way they'd like here at the moment. Heidelberg just being stifled and the decisions not going their way. And again, the Heidelberg bench, not the happiest bunch right now. That's a dicey pass. Ellis did pretty well in the end under pressure. Chipped out in front of Chiavo. Jesse Dance for company, and Jesse Dance hooks it out of play.
Good covering defence there from Jesse Dance. Kynan West and Bidwell were stuck up the field, and Dance just slotted in nicely. Playing with two holding midfielders here today are the strikers. Usually have Bo Blizzard as their single pivot man. Going with two here today. Throw in taken in the Cahill direction. Well cleared, it falls to Stone. Bidwell. Just wanted to get rid of that one in the end. Goes as far as Pace. Now Biles. Don't know what the cheers for. It was a pretty good pass in the end from Biles. And now Joel Stone running, and this Turtle Holden's making a good diagonal run. Holden nearly gets there. Fantastic challenge from Reed coming across from the right back position. Absolute textbook stuff. Blizzard gets in the way. Real hustle about the Devonport strikers at the moment. Heidelberg could possibly try and sneak one before halftime. Cutting inside. Still going is Schiavo. Plays the 1-2. There's a player open on the far side. First time shot. It's a goal for Heidelberg United. It's their star player Ellis who coolly slots it home. Makes it 1-1.
Yeah, Sean Ellis, blistering counter-attacking play, and all the credit in the world to Harvey Reid in defence. Two huge defensive plays. He makes the sliding challenge to get away from Holden and the crunching block to get there before Blizzard. From that defensive play, they spring the counter, and that's what they were showing the opening few minutes. They hadn't shown anything like that in the last half hour, really, Heidelberg. That play in transition, so dangerous. The class of Sean Ellis to finish it off. The first time they'd really attacked with any great speed for a while. They'd been quite ponderous, the build-up play. They'd put the foot on the ball. They'd look to knock the ball around. And Devonport had comfortably dealt with that. We see them attacking with speed there, and they fell to water a little bit at the back there, the strikers.
Yeah, the pace of Heidelberg United really coming into effect there, but full credit to Harvey Reid there at right back. That sliding challenge on Turtle Holden was absolutely textbook. And then to relay it all the way forward, Cahill again, who's been really good up top, their leading goal scorer in NPL Victoria this year. And he might be in here again. This time it's Schiavo, one-on-one with the keeper. And in a matter of a minute, Heidelberg with 2 goals. And their bench is rocking.
Oh, this game's done a complete 180. Devonport were in complete control. 1-0 ahead, not looking troubled. 2 attacks, 2 goals. You could drive a truck through that gap. Space at the back to exploit. They drive straight through the heart of it. And just like that, Heidelberg show their class. Torn asunder at the back there. Nothing Pitchford could do. 2-1. And you've got to question the defence there of Devonport. That was far too easy. The gaps miles wide at the back.
Yeah, you could drive an absolute Tas freight truck between the gap of that defence there. Smith, Mulroney and Blizzard on this side of the ground. There is a huge gap in there, and leaving Pitchford, he's come up trumps at least twice in this first half already. But the last 2 one-on-ones have left him pretty exposed, and all of a sudden, it's now Devonport who've got to chase the game. They look down the line towards Holden.
I think a moment ago you said they might be able to sneak one before the break. Well, they've gone and doubled that. And the class of Sean Ellis, a goal and the assist, and also well done to Tony Pert, the referee, who's been copping a bit from the Heidelberg bench, but allowed a good advantage there for Ellis to profit from. And now it's Devonport who need to chase the game. How quickly things can change. In the blink of an eye, Devonport have gone in from Chris Garner having a pretty happy halftime speech of a 1-0 lead to suddenly we've got to chase this game, and that is going to be very difficult as Heidelberg have just snapped to life here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think what the turning point might have been in that couple of minutes. Devonport were absolutely all over him there for about a 5-minute patch as Lescano trying to deal with it with Ellis for pressure.
I think we just saw him attack through the middle of the ground with a bit of pace. It was sharp passing. There was some real suppose, impetus behind it. They've been just a little bit too slow in their build-up. The best moments have come when they've really looked to run at this defence, carry the ball and take them on.
Yeah, absolutely. Is the time taken for this throw-in. We tick very close to half-time. Heidelberg now not with as much impetus as they had 5 minutes ago in taking this throw-in. Launches it long. Flick on header up in the air. Pitchford comes out. Takes quite the specky over the top of the Heidelberg United player. Pitchford will look long. He's got Holden and Mann in the attacking half. Look at the watch from Tony Pert, but not going to blow at this stage. Flick on from Mann. Tried to find Holden. And now he does blow for half-time, Tony Pert.
So there's the half-time whistle. It'll be two very different speeches delivered by the managers than they were expecting to dish out 5 minutes ago. Heidelberg, the class coming to the fore as the second part of that half. They just maybe ran over the top a little, had the stronger legs. Devonport were defending pretty stoutly there for a while, but just broke down far too easily in the end. The defence unable to handle it, and Heidelberg, who entered the game as pretty warm favourites, stamping their class on this contest just before the break.
Yeah, just before, and that's the crucial thing. I don't think Devonport are out of this game by any stretch of the imagination. It was a deflected goal that saw them go 1-0 in front. They look pretty composed and evenly match Heidelberg. We'll just see how fitness goes in this second half. Devonport, in theory, Heidelberg would be the fitter team. And we'll see how they go, but it's a pretty crisp, windy night here at Valley Road, and maybe the Strikers will try and play this to their advantage. But I think Tom Cahill up top, he's been causing a menace for the Devonport Strikers' defence, and I think that him staying up top will keep Heidelberg well and truly the favourites to round out this game.
Absolutely. So we'll be back shortly with the second half here from Valley Road, the first of the elimination finals in the NPL 2018 National Final Series. At half-time, the champions of Victoria, Heidelberg, lead the champions of Tasmania, Devonport, by 2-1.
Over here, Ellis has missed it, stayed onside, no offside. Will not count and puts it wide anyway.
He goes long looking for Braden Mann. The Strikers' biggest threat is Mann. He curls this one looking for Holden. They're going to be the real man.
Trying to get their foot on the ball here a little bit as Mann manages to win a corner. Coming initially from Katanos. Ends up going out. It's a good ball, and Pitchford rises.
Kynan West had spilt the way of Braden Mann, and Bidwell's bursting into space down the right. Two to pick out for Bidwell. He puts it in the Holden direction, but pace was perched back there for Heidelberg.
I think he was originally looking for Kynan
Joel
West.
Stone with a snapshot. Way to drop there,
down the line only as far as Blizzard. This is Joel Stone territory. Lays it off to Dance. Slide challenge. Nothing given from Pert. Eventually gives the free kick, and I'd say Joel Stone's going to
attack now. Might be on for the Burgers. They're charging down the right here. And well worked back by Mike. Back down towards Blizzard, but again, the Burgers able to win it away, and man just getting in the back. Spreads it wide. Katranos now cutting inside. Oh, good dummy from Cahill for Schiavo. And a good save from Pitchford. That cutting inside. Oh, good dummy from Cahill for Schiavo. And a good save. Exchanges here have been constant wrestling matches as man charges the keeper down there, and the hyphen gets himself into a little bit of trouble. Theodoros Petropoulos, okay, the hyphenator, just learned a lesson about Braden Mann. He's got terrific closing speed. And he was honing in on him there.
It's not far away at all, Braden Mann. Couldn't quite find Mann. It's now Kartanos. Manages to get the ball forward, and now Zara is tripped by Blizzard. And the icy wind now will get a talking to. It wasn't quite as malicious.
Him out. He's got Kynan West in the middle here to go back and take it. Now he's going to run up the defence. A step over from Bidwell. The young fullback beats one, but the experience of pace there. They take it short, and they've caught them out here. Drives to the byline to Zara. Beats one. Braden Mann checking back. Still going Zara. In the end, the final shot was poor. Holden now having a run at pace. He's driving into the box. He's got two to pick out in the middle. He drives it and deflects into the back of the net. It's an own goal, and the Devonport Strikers lead. Holden now having a run at pace. He's driving into the box. He's got two to pick out in the middle. He drives it and deflects into the back of the net. It's an own goal, and the Devonport Strikers lead. Oh, an unfortunate deflection, but a driving run from Michael Holden has brought about the game's first goal and set Valley Road alight.
Oh, Valley Road is erupting here with delight. Lovely ball from Dom Smith in the build-up. Got Turtle Holden one-on-one. First time he's had that all day. Managed to jink past the defender, turned on the V8s. And when you put the ball in the mixer, you're always liable for the defender chopping back. And off the studs. Well, I think it was Stephen Pace sliding in there.
Need to chase the game. Katanos trying to make an immediate response and just gets body checked.
Joel Stone whips this one to the back post. Lescano's there, hyphenator, beaten underneath it, tunneled, not intentionally, hits the head. And eventually Heidelberg scramble it away, only as far as Kynan West. He's immediately surrounded, just getting a foot in, and it's at the post! Guillermo Lescano from 25 out.
But Stone swings this one to the back post. The hyphen drops it and then quickly regathers, but arrives at this defence, slides it through, chipped over the top. And Chiavo couldn't quite control it. It's left in the first half now as the Burgers looking to get level. Across to Chiavo. Chiavo just overcooks it, trying to pick out Kartanos.
Smith in a pocket of space as Stone, but he's completely miscued that chip. Oh, and Michael Holden's gone crashing into the advertising hoarding. He got pushed.
Dropping deep here is the Petri dish and getting himself into trouble too and just swinging his leg.
Holden's making a good diagonal run. Holden nearly gets there. Fantastic challenge from Ryan Sneak one before halftime. Cutting inside. Still going is Schiavo. Plays the 1-2. There's a player open on the far side. First time shot. It's a goal for Heidelberg United. It's their star player Ellis who coolly slots it home. Makes it 1-1.
Yeah, Sean Ellis, blistering counter-attacking play and
cutting inside. Still going is Schiavo. Plays the 1-2. There's a player open on the far side. First time shot. It's a goal for Heidelberg United. It's their up top, their leading goal scorer in NPL Victoria this year. And he might be in here again. This time it's Schiavo. One-on-one with the keeper. And in a matter of a minute, Heidelberg with 2 goals. And their bench is rocking. John Turtle Holden was absolutely textbook. And then to relay it all the way forward, Cahill again, who's been really good up top, their leading goal scorer in NPL Victoria this year. And he might be in here again. This time it's Schiavo. One-on-one with the keeper. And in a matter of a minute, Heidelberg with 2 goals. And their bench is rocking.
Oh, this game's done a complete 180. Devonport were in complete control. 1-0 ahead. Not looking troubled. 2 attacks, 2 goals. You could drive a truck through that gap. Space at the back to exploit. They drive straight through the heart of it. And just like that, Heidelberg show their class. Torn asunder at the back there. Nothing Pitchford could do. 2-1. And you've got to question the defence there of Devonport. That was far too easy. The gaps.
Launches it long. Flick on header up in the air. Pitchford comes out. Takes quite the
in September with FFA Cup and National Final Series and Victorian Final Series. Plenty of it, but an early opening here. It's a great chance. The flag's down. He blazes wide. Here for Heidelberg, swung in. Pitchford comes. He punches only as far as the tip of the box. Laid back and curling it just wide of the mark. Was the fullback there in a Reuben Way.
Dreaming forward for Heidelberg. Smith trying to get back. Can't quite get there. There's a player over here. Ellis has missed it. Stayed onside. No offside. Will not count and puts it wide anyway.
He goes long looking for Braden Mann. The striker's biggest threat is Mann. He curls this one looking for Holden. They're going to be the real. And Conan West had spilt the way of Braden Mann. Bidwell's bursting into space down the right. 2 to pick out for Bidwell. He puts it in the Holden direction, but pace was perched back there. Heidelberg.
I think he was originally looking for Conan West.
Stone with a snapshot. Going to drop their ball. Attack now. Might be on for the Burgers. They're charging down the right here. And well worked back by Michael. Spreads it wide. Katranos. Now cutting inside. Oh, good dummy from Cahill for Schiavo. And a good save from Pitchford. That exchanges here. We've been in constant wrestling matches as Mann charges the keeper down there, and the hyphen gets himself into a little bit of trouble. Theodoros Petropoulos, okay, the hyphenator, just learned a lesson about Braden Mann. He's got terrific closing speed. And he was honing in on him there.
It's not far away at all, Braden Mann.
Picks him out. He's got Kynan West in the middle here to go back and take it. Now he's going to run up the defence. A step over from Bidwell. The young fullback beats one, but the experience of pace there. Michael Holden now having a run at pace. He's driving into the box. He's got 2 to pick out in the middle. He drives it and deflects into the back of the net. It's an own goal and the Devonport Strikers lead.
Stone whips this one to the back post. Lescano's there, hyphenator. Beaten underneath it, tunnelled, not intentionally. Hits the head. And eventually Heidelberg scramble it away, only as far. Scramble it away, only as far as Kynan West. He's immediately surrounded. Just getting a foot in, and it's at the post! Guillermo Lescano from 25 out. Turtle Holden's making a good diagonal run. Holden nearly gets there. Fantastic challenge from Ryan. Sneak one before half-time. Cutting inside. Still going is Schiavo. Plays the 1-2. There's a player open on the far side. First time shot. It's a goal for Heidelberg United. It's their star player Ellis who coolly slots it home. Makes it 1-1.
Yeah, Sean Ellis, blistering counter-attacking play. And
John Turtle Holden was absolutely textbook. And then to relay it all the way forward, Cahill again, who's been really good up top, their leading goal scorer in NPL Victoria this year. And he might be in here again. This time it's Schiavo, 1-on-1 with the keeper. And in a matter of a minute, Heidelberg with 2 goals. And their bench is rocking.
Oh, this game's done a complete 180. Devonport were in complete control. 1-0 ahead, not looking troubled. 2 attacks, 2 goals. You could drive a truck through that gap. Space at the back to exploit. They drive straight through the heart of it. And just like that, Heidelberg show their class. Torn asunder at the back there. Nothing Pitchford could do. 2-1. And you've got to question the defence there of Devonport. That was far too easy. The gaps. Welcome back for the second half here from Valley Road. Heidelberg United leading Devonport 2-1. They probably shaded the first half. Devonport had really limited the chances of the game. Then a very fortunate own goal had given them the lead. Denied Heidelberg clear-cut chances, despite Heidelberg looking the better side and controlling most of it. And then 2 late goals. They turned it on. The class of Sean Ellis, a goal and an assist, turning this game on its head just before the break and giving the visitors a 2-1 lead. Is there any way back into this contest for the host Devonport Strikers, Paul Hunt?
I think it'll all depend if they can shore up their defensive frailties. They were really good for the first 40 minutes, but that last 5 minutes just came slightly undone in defence, and I think Coach Chris Keller will be pretty unhappy with that. If they can at least keep the score as is for the first 15, 20 minutes, I think they're in with a red-hot chance. If you're just looking at the scoreline, you'd think Heidelberg have had the most of the play in the first half, which they did for a bit, but Devonport really put them under the pressure from that sort of 20 to 40th minute mark. And if they can do that again, it'll be a very interesting second half here, but I do think Heidelberg is still a tad favourite.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Devonport. We saw the class of Heidelberg. Devonport were fighting him almost to a draw or a standstill for mid-part of that half, which as far as they're concerned is a good result. But perhaps the cream rising to the top there as the half wore on, and fairly simple goal they let in there, the second one. Just massive gap between the two centre-backs. That would not have pleased Chris Gallo one iota. And it's going to be a tough road for them back into it. And if Heidelberg really can put their foot down and get an early goal in this half and make it 3-1, it's hard to see how Devonport will recover from that. So a big opening 15 minutes, and if I'm Heidelberg, I'm trying to up the tempo, because when they really attacked with speed, Devonport struggled to deal with it. When they were knocking the ball around a bit more patiently, Devonport looked reasonably well equipped to deal with it. As Braden Mann looking to make some noise early in the half, the Iceman knocks it forward there to Chiavo, who's brought down, and that'll be a free kick. It's dance there. Easy decision there, and he did catch the eye in the first half, Alexander Chiavo.
Made a lot of nice runs down the wing, did Chiavo, and it was a pretty obvious shirt pull on him there. And Heidelberg will have the first set piece of the second half. It'll be Petrie, the Petrie dish over this one. And all the tall timber forward and everyone back for the strikers. And it's Petrie towards the back post. Initial header is won by Heidelberg, but only goes as far as Nathan Pitchford. Pitchy gets his head up, heaves that one long. That's going to just about get all the way back to the 18-yard box on the first bounce. And in the end, it goes right to the hyphenator.
Yeah, fairly direct stuff again there from the strikers. That was their method for much of the first half. The best moments came when Eddie Bidwell was charging down that right-hand flank, and they were able to kind of play that diagonal to him. But for the most part, it was hit it long and hope. And the Heidelberg defence, for the most part, dealt with it pretty well, with the exception of that deflection that led to the own goal. Cahill knocking this one back as Heidelberg again look to control the ball. Zara wide for Ellis, who really broke that game open just before the half with that golden assist and just tore through the heart of the strikers' defence there. Did Sean Ellis, showing his class. He was touted as the danger man coming into this contest. Cahill has been strong up top, leading the line. Knocks this one back for the dish. Retreats to pace. Now the Iceman is going to have to hustle after this, because Braden Mann was lurking, and in the end he volleys this one forward. Took a bit of a bobble. And well brought down by Cartanos, then showed too much of it to Kynan, the Salad West, who sends it in the Braden Mann direction. The striker's skipper threads it in for Bidwell, whose cross is a poor one. Easily dealt with once again. The Iceman Biles shutting that one down. And there's the sandwich, Ruben Way across to Ellis. Ellis tries to slide in behind Bo Blizzard, who had a pretty good first half. Just midfield destroyer of the strikers. Long raking ball in the man direction. Chests it down, turns into space, Braden Mann. Threads it across to Joel Stone. Joel Stone shifting it to Michael Holden. Turtle Holden putting the cross in, but there's no one at home for the strikers. And in the end, it's a bit of a cheap corner that Heidelberg have conceded.
Yeah, Braden Mann pulled back towards the penalty spot. Michael Holden with then a real knuckling ball to the near post, and eventually Heidelberg probably could have at least put that out for a throw rather than a corner, but this gives Devonport an opportunity to bring their tall timber forward. As Tony Pert wants to have a word, it seems, with the goalkeeper. I think it's Kynan, the Salad West, the Devonport instigator.
Just making an absolute nuisance of himself there, the Salad.
Keeper probably touched his hair.
Oh, meanwhile, drama here. Kynan West has been put down. The Heidelberg defence have taken exception to his blocking of the keeper. He's been slung to the ground, and it is on for young and old now. The pushing match breaking out. And Tony Peart is going to need to defuse this. Tempers threatened to boil over in the first half. And Kynan West seems to have sucked him in. The Devonport keeper Pitchford's charged the length of the field to applaud young Kynan West for instigating all this. So we did mention the dark arts earlier in the game, and the youngster there showing he's involved. What will the outcome be from this, though? Will we see any cards or just a talking to? Tony Peart deep in conversation. And it looks like he is reaching into the book. The Strikers crowd certainly brought to life by this. A massive delay before the corner.
Plenty of stoppage time now coming up at the end of this half.
Indeed, it is going to be a slice of cheese. Not the shade the crowd behind there were baying for, but a slice of cheese is issued. And eventually, we might get this corner taken.
Kynan West now being talked to. Dose of dairy dished out the Devonport player as well. It's actually Jesse Dance over there with the referee.
It was Ruben Way who might have given away the initial slice of cheese too.
Clearly most of that's for the afters, as it was West and Theodoridis Petropoulos in the initial encounter.
Now, the Petri dish having plenty to say, and with the situation diffused, we'll finally get to this corner, which I've been stewing on for a while. It's swung in near post. Mulroney looking to flick on. Raider man back out to Stone, drives it low. It was poor from Stone. Well, poor clearance too, and they'll get a goal kick, just smashing that one. In the end, no harm done.
After all that from the corner kick and the afters, not much came for it for the Strikers, which will please Heidelberg United, as we touched on in the first half, and they can concentrate on playing the game rather than the opposition players. They've looked a class above here this evening, as the hyphenator ready to take the goal kick in the Bow Blizzard direction, rising high is Devonport's version of the Iceman. Knocks it out for a throw-in. Taken down the line from Reed. And get another chance to take the throw. Reed, who played such a crucial part in the second goal for Heidelberg, launches that long in the Cahill direction. Dumped clear in the end, and Chris Gallo urging his team to push up. Clearance from Theodoridis goes straight to a Devonport player, and then a miscued clearance from Biles. We'll see that out for a throw-in. It's taken. Joel Stone, harassed by two Heidelberg players, eventually wins the free kick. He wasn't really going anywhere there, Joel Stone. Being backed into the corner by two Heidelberg players, but the pressure relieved, and Devonport have another set-piece opportunity.
Joel Stone will be looking for a slightly better delivery than he's produced on the past couple of set-piece opportunities. It's all timber forwards, both centre halves up for the Strikers. Joel Stone over the dead ball. Braden Mann lurking at the back. He swings it long and high over the top of the keeper. And that is just wasteful there from Joel Stone, and the Heidelberg faithful absolutely giving it to him.
Join the polite golf clap from the Heidelberg fans there. Letting them know what they think of that free kick.
It's been a good running battle between Joel Stone and those fans all evening. Plenty exchanged between both parties. The long goal kick taken. Kieran Mulroney beaten in the air by Schiavo. And now Lascano lofting it for Braden Mann to chase. Goodwill does well. Dance to Stone. Back into the middle there for Beau Blizzard. Loose touch from Dance, but gets hold of the ball and then felt the contact and immediately hits the deck to draw the free kick.
Yeah, smart play there from the Devonport centre midfielder. The Petri dish didn't get any of the ball and just leaned into him as he knew the challenge was coming and won the foul. And Beau Blizzard to take. Let's hope the delivery is better than Devonport's last attempt. It's into the middle of the box, but right down the throat of Theodoridis Petropoulos. Rolls it out in the end to Reed. Elects to go forward in Schiavo direction. Kieran Mulroney under pressure, pushed off the ball, shoulder to shoulder, according to the referee. Now coming back is Heidelberg United, looking to go out the other way. It's Ruben Way on the left-hand side. Finds Katanos. Trying to turn young Kynan West. Gets past him eventually. Blizzard leans the body in. No free kick given, but a corner will be awarded to Heidelberg United.
Yeah, good work from Katanos there. Get everybody on top of their keeper is the shout from the Heidelberg bench. They want to return the treatment. Well, their goalkeeper received. So I think Pitchford can probably expect some fairly close attention from this corner. Indeed, they immediately get that way in the striker's defence. Also trying to block for Pitchford. Eventually swung in towards Pitchford, headed away, top of the box. Here's a chance, lays it off for Ellis. Well done, charging down was Mulroney, who's now got to go the length of the big centre half. Bursting down the middle is West, but he couldn't pick him out. The centre half just running out of gas there, I think.
Yeah, getting up in nosebleed territory there, Kieran Mulroney. They did well from the corner kick, did Devonport. Managed to press out well once it fell to the top of the box, but unfortunately you'd probably want more like Braden Mann or Michael Holden on that counter-attack rather than the stout defender Kieran Mulroney, who's on the ball now. Missed at the first attempt. Now out wide to Katanos. No, it's not Katanos. He's on the other week. Bursting forward, past one. Shouts for a penalty. Yaya has given it. Tony Pert
Just
in
outside.
the middle. We believe it's just outside the box.
Sean Ellis again, just wreaking havoc. His pace really causing all sorts of problems for the strikers'
On
defence.
the other week,
Must have been
bursting
right
forward,
on the
past
edge of the
one.
area.
Shouts for a penalty. Yaya has given.
Not too far off, being a spot kick. And if the Burgers were to get a third goal, it's hard to see a way back into this one for the strikers. They've not created much tonight. Their goal came via a deflection. It was an own goal. Really, one decent chance they've created all match. So, chasing a 2-goal lead, unlikely. They need to keep this at 2-1, but good position for Ellis to try and work his set-piece magic here. That sweet left foot of his.
Tall Timber all lining up at the back post. Yep, Pace eagerly awaiting, as is Reed. Biles up there as well.
Curls it in, and Pitchford is not quite beaten. Side netting only. The Heidelberg fans getting excited, but side netting there. He smashed that one in there. That left foot of Ellis. And he really has loomed as the star man this evening here at Valley Road.
Certainly has. Sean Ellis as Pitchford gets us underway. Right to the head of Pace. He's actually got time to control it. Turn back to Reed. Trying to find Ellis. Only finding Bo Blizzard. Diagonal ball to Kynan West at an awkward height for him. Does enough to keep the ball in play. Les Carno rises high. Does enough to win the ball. Falls to Dance. Joel Stone. Haven't seen him on the ball much in this second half. And calls to put the ball out of play. Eddie Bidwell doing the referee's job and waving the physio on there. Looking in some agony here. There's the Heidelberg striker. Maybe copped a corky in the hamstring when rising for that challenge.
He immediately went down. Started smashing his fist into the turf here. He looks to be in a significant amount of pain.
Yeah, he went right for that left thigh, left knee area. And we'll see another extended stoppage here. Heidelberg players opting to rehydrate, as are the Devonport strikers.
We'll see if the stretch is required here. Something like that could be possible. The strikers looking to use this break just to regroup a little bit, chasing the game. Referee just telling the Heidelberg bench that the physio is the one in charge, and he'll call on a stretcher when the physio tells him he needs one.
Probably the best judge of injuries out there on the field.
And indeed, it is required. It seemed to be the case. So, disappointing here for the Burgers. Things were starting to go nicely for them. But we're going to be forced to make a substitution. Certainly not what they were looking for. And hopefully nothing that's going to keep him out in the long term with so many big games coming up in the next month.
Yeah, absolutely. With FFA Cup on the horizon, the finals in Victoria next week in prospect, and it appears to be Lewis Hall being talked to by the assistant coaches of Heidelberg, looking to come on. Lescano there helping out, which is really good to see. And all sides helping to get Schiavo off the pitch. So an unfortunate substitution having to be made here by Heidelberg. And it's not quite in a good way, unfortunately, for Heidelberg. So we'll hope that injury is not as serious as it looks in the first instance.
His reaction going off suggests that might be a bad one. He looked like a man who knows he's about to face a bit of a layoff. We are hopeful that is not the case for Alex Schiavo, who's been very entertaining here this evening. An eye-catching player, and that's a blow for Heidelberg. He'll be forced to the bench with Lewis Hall looking the most likely replacement. And indeed, he's just snuck his way on the field here. So Hall coming on. And he's a very noticeable presence in that midfield, a bit of height about him. His first involvement here is just to shield the ball from Joel Stone and then skip past Kynan West and knocks it to Cahill. So a very positive first involvement from the substitute Lewis Hall. Heidelberg driving the attack here. Lascano nodding down to Bidwell. Ellis knocks it to Catanos. Catanos, diving header from the Spanish. Ledley King was good, but Cahill gets back on it. He'll slide it through. It's Zara. Just took him a little bit wide, and the offside flag had been raised anyway. Which will nip that attack in the bud.
Yeah, Lascano held his line really well after that diving header. Mulroney saw where his compatriot was. Zara falling offside. Yeah, very tall player. Here's Lewis Hall. Pitchford getting the game underway in the Holden direction. Reed comes right over the top. Brings it to Hall. Hall looks to run past one, and Jesse Dance knocks him down. Just on accumulation. Must be getting close to a slice of cheese, is Jesse Dance. Actually, he got one early in that scuffle, I believe.
I believe so. So the Iceman over the ball, Luke Biles, captain of this side. Lived up to his moniker so far, been very composed at the back. This one headed away by Mulroney. Down to Braden Mann, knocks it across to Dance. Kynan West. Now Eddie Bidwell. Bidwell, and his path blocked off there. He's back on it, Eddie Bidwell, and he puts it out in front of Joel Stone to run at Reed. Holden offers short. In the end, they work it to Bidwell instead. The fullback lashing this one over the top. Just over the bar there from Eddie Bidwell. Marauding forward as per usual.
Good to see some promising signs from the strikers. Been a little quiet in an attacking sense in this second half. Really looking to make sure to shore up their defence before moving forward. But Stone recognised there was space out on the left wing.
There's 11:46 of the crowd in here at Valley Road this evening. This one's knocked onto the head of Mulroney. West brings it down, combining with Dance. Two youngsters who've come into the team in recent weeks after not really being part of this side for the bulk of the season. A couple of appearances here and there, but primarily it's been a pretty consistent 11 all season from Devonport, and Jedaminas Crucia and Miles Barnard have been the two who've had those roles for the bulk of the season. And at the pointy end, two youngsters being called upon to deliver. Here's Braden Mann. He's brought down there by Ruben Way. Heidelberg, that's cleverly done, just plays it off of Joel Stone and wins. Oh, I thought he won the throw-in.
Thought that was a throw in as well to Heidelberg. Not on this occasion. Jinking his way is Joel Stone. Falls to Eddie Bidwell. Tries to get it in the box, but Pace clean that up all the time. Bidwell to Dance. Joel Stone now on the right wing. Jinking past the defender, whips it in. Off the ground is Pace. Shank clearance in the end from Ellis. Holding it up well was Kynan West. Now thumped out wide, it's Lazcano. He's against Katanos. Lazcano manages to block the incoming crossfield ball, and Devonport look to go out the other side.
Let's Dance on it. A wrestling match here with Cahill. Just got a little bit too handsy for the referee's liking. Mulroney wants to take it quick, but Ian thinks better of it. Devonport having a little bit more of the ball in recent times, but still struggling to create clear-cut openings. That Bidwell shot about as close as they've come throughout the match, really. Own goal aside. The Heidelberg defence led by Biles and Pace looking pretty comfortable with what's being thrown at them as Pitchford smashes this one right down the hey-diddle away by Pace. Picked up by Reed. Michael Holden flinging himself in there and winning the free kick in the end is Turtle Holden.
He just got a toe to it while the defender was in mid-air swing and caught him on the way through, did Reed. So Devonport with another set-piece opportunity. And it's probably the most likely avenue to goal here in the second half. Going towards their supporters' end. Cross comes in but cleared at the near post initially. Falls out wide to Holden, who got on the left foot okay with that one. He was at a very strange angle there, Turtle Holden. It was a pretty low percentage shot, which I think Theodoritis Petropoulos will be more than happy to keep seeing in this second half.
Yeah, I don't think the hyphenator is going to be troubled by that. Michael Holden, don't mind the intent. We've seen him score a few almost exclusively from outside the box this year. In fact, when Michael Holden scores, it tends to be a fairly spectacular one. And who double figures in the assist charts this year. He's been a real creative force for the Strikers. Mulroney nods it down to that man, Turtle Holden. What could well be one of his last games for the Devonport Strikers. Possibly his last one if the rumours are true. We'll see if he does take another trip abroad and see if he can crack it up there in Victoria again. But certainly a few clubs interested in him, we understand. A couple of eye-catching performances in the FFA Cup.
They'd be thoroughly deserving of another opportunity on the mainland with young Turtle Holden. He's done it once before, came back and I think under Chris Gallows really pushed on in the last couple of years. As the throw-in heaved down the line, Cahill contesting with Lazcano. Balls to Joel Stone. He's beaten out in the end. Surely it's a foul by Stone on the Petrie dish.
There was about 3 fouls in that one bit of play there from Joel Stone on the dish. As this one will be taken quickly by Ruben Way. Knocks it across to the dangerous Ellis, one-on-one with Smith. This bodes well for Heidelberg. It's Ellis on the left. Shut down nicely by Bo Blizzard. Tracking back. Petrie back to Ellis. Ellis chips it for Cahill. Cahill takes it down. Lays it across for Katanos. Katanos skipping inside. The Strikers back en masse and they deal with it. He's Kynan West just leaning into him there. It was Ruben Way who then gets pushed by West and takes the tumble, and Pert says, I'm not having any of your theatrics.
Yeah, I'm not sure someone with a considerable height and weight advantage would go down that easily with a Kynan West push. And him well covered with the Heidelberg defender.
Eddie Bidwell steals 15 yards quite cunningly. This one's volleyed back in the Mulroney direction up against Cahill. Terrific scrap between those two. Poked forward towards Bidwell and just let this one run.
See how many yards Eddie Bidwell steals from this throw-in.
It's gone out at the photographer. And he's been spotted this time. And no one really offering an option. Eventually he goes to West, who allows it to run. Back to Pace. Heidelberg looking in command at the moment. Long ball, searching for Zara. Zara takes it down. Lays it across for Katanos. Katanos, away by Lazcano. Down from Petrie. Again, Katanos. Another chance to put something in. He's running at Bidwell. Skips onto the right, then crosses. Couldn't quite pick out Zara. And Pitchford looks to spring the counter.
Yeah, going quickly here are the strikers. Dom Smith lays it out to Joel Stone. Wanted it closer to him, did Turtle Holden. He'll try to shepherd this one out. Will Pace. Does well enough. Eventually the press of Devonport will see it out. The ambitious trying to claim the throw in. There was Joel Stone. Back to Pace. Heaves it down the line in the Cahill direction. Goes over his head. Well claimed from Adrian Zara. Tries the return ball to Cahill off the chest. He's got Katanos in space. Cahill. He's also got Zara. Back down the line to Ellis. He's come across the whole width of the pitch and finds Katanos. Goes inside to the Rubinator. Katanos jinking back on the left foot. Got West for company. Goes near post. Lescano clears. Bidwell with a bit of time inside his own box. Aims for some distance, but only a heavy touch, unfortunately, from Biles. Will relieve the pressure on the strikers.
Seeing a lot more of the ball in the last few minutes since Chiavo went off with that injury. He seems to become the main attacking outlet as Braden Mann is pushed in the back there by Petrie. The dish conceding that one. Bo Blizzard looks up, thinking he might try and sneak this one quickly. Eventually, he'll settle it and wait. He's tall timber to assemble. Spanish Ledley King up there. He goes in that direction. It's a good header from West, but straight at the keeper in the end. Made good contact. Just lacking the direction there was the salad, Kynan West.
Got decent enough purchase on it. Did the strikers attack it? Struggling back to his feet in the end. Way. And it's just to get on the ball. Finds Katanos. Huge deliberation on whose throw-in it is, and it'll eventually fall Heidelberg's way. Tony Pert in the middle. Giving that one to the Burgers. Right underneath us here in our commentary position. Throw-in taken long down the line in the Zara direction. Good turn of pace from Adrian Zara. Manages to win the corner. The winger, more known as a winger in his Melbourne Heart days, Adrian Zara, starting in the centre of the park here tonight. He seems to have moved to a more attacking role in this second half, pushing on a lot more.
Yeah, I think Chiavo going off will see him push into that 10 role a little bit more too. With Hall just dropping a little bit deeper in the role he was previously occupying, but it's all Heidelberg here at the minute, asking the questions of the strikers, trying to kill this game off. It's a dangerous ball. Pitchford gets a strong fist to it. And now again, it's Katanos. Wide for the Petrie dish. Taken down by the centre half Pace. Pitchford again punching away, and then he's able to gather his own punch and sends it quickly in the direction of Turtle Holden. He'll turn and go here, Michael Holden. He's got Braden Mann as his only man in support. And he might just take a throw in. No, he's going to keep charging here at Ellis. It's Michael Holden. Weaving on to the right. Ellis did well just to block the shot. Very nicely done. It's been a classy display. The danger not dealt with as Smith. The chance to dink it back inside. And the drive just awfully miscued. Clearing head up. Should relieve the pressure, but Eddie Bidwell quickly back on it for the strikers. Drops it off for Lascano. The Spaniard shifts it right for Dance. Returns it immediately to Lascano. Broken up there at the back by Way. And the sandwich, Ruben Way here. Takes it across, gives it to Zara. He's got an overlapping Katanos riding shotgun with him. That's where he heads. Cahill to pick out in the middle, but he couldn't get past Lascano. The Spanish centre half doing well. Kynan West. And eventually the throw in will go the way of the strikers.
Except for that 5 minutes before half time, Lascano has been imperious at the back. A lot of one-on-ones, especially when the wingers for Heidelberg cut inside, be it Schiavo or Katanos or Ellis. And outside of that 5 minutes, he's done really well as the Spanish king. It'll be Pace looking for Katanos. Good first touch from Katanos, storming into the box. He's got one to beat out, but eventually getting there was Eddie Bidwell. Although Katanos is alleged to have had the last touch, So it'll be out for a goal kick, but the pace. And Andrew Katanos really coming in to effect here in this second half, as we're about to have a substitution, and Tadriano Jelenovic coming on for the Strikers. I'd assume it's the salad Kynan West who's gone off.
Yep, Kynan West replaced by the Croatian striker, Adriano Jelenovic. It's a late arrival midway through the season for the Strikers. Coming across from Western Australia as this one knocks straight to Ellis, and Ellis will chip it in towards Cahill. Cahill one-on-one with Mulroney. He's got Ellis peeling off. He chips it in for Zara. Lascano away. Ellis takes it down for Hall. Hall for Cahill. Cahill getting the massive Bronx as he smashes that one into the bush.
And then, like all good golfers, puts the divot back into the turf after digging that one out. It'll be Pitchford looking down the line, wanted Holden, eventually falls to Michael Holden. On the new man, Jelenovic. Ruben Way getting up well. Bit of a heave-ho forward. Lascano and Pitchford will eventually work it out between them. And now Lascano, the subject of the Bronx cheers from the Heidelberg faithful down below.
Well represented here this evening are the Burgers. Good travelling support for them. Going down to enjoy the trip. And it's looking like it's going to be a successful one. So we've got 15 minutes or so left now. And Heidelberg with the 2-1 lead. Looking pretty good value at the moment, unless the Strikers can conjure something late. Braden Mann, poor pass, picked off by Ruben Way. And back they go to the Iceman, Biles. Retreats back to the hyphenator. He launches this one long towards Dom Smith, nods it back down to the middle. For the icy wind, Bo Blizzard. Mulroney. Searching for Jelenovic, imperious header there from Way. That was towering stuff there from the fullback. Cahill. Just holding up the ball. He's done that beautifully tonight, Cahill. Played that target man role very nicely indeed. Ellis. I think would just about be a shoo-in for the man of the match this evening. Pace. Pace for Cahill. Cahill volleys it to Pace. And some room wide on the right for Reid, but he's going to launch a diagonal instead in towards Zara. Zara to Katanos. Katanos pulls the trigger a little early. And Pitchford gathers that one up.
Yeah, just about gathers it. Pitchford nearly conceded the corner, as that one's gone high towards Holden, battling against Reid. It's been a good battle throughout the game, Holden versus Reid. He's trying to size him up one-on-one. Look to go near post, gets it back Holden. Reid does it well again. And between himself and Pace, they'll clear it only as far as Mulroney, who just chests it straight to Cahill, and Katanos is onside here. Eddie Bidwell kept him onside. It's Katanos for the sealer, tries to go around Bidwell. Oh, fantastic work, Eddie Bidwell. Nearly a shoo-in for that one. It's Katanos down the right-hand side. Calls for shirt pull, not heated, and Lascano will eventually get rid of it.
I thought Zara was about to ice that game there for Heidelberg as he charged in. Not to be, though. Devonport live to fight. Another day for now. Bo Blizzard unable to track this one down. They're just starting to look a little bit tired to me, this Strikers outfit. Heidelberg running the game out the stronger. There's some more action on the substitutes bench. Looks like another switch is going to be made. Given we're standing directly over the top of the substitutes, a bit hard to get a feel for who exactly it is coming on.
Yeah, we've got one player down for Heidelberg. Lascano's on his haunches, as he usually is most stoppages in NPL games when it gets to this stage. The Ledley King of the competition. Ruben Ways after a drink. It's definitely the substitution call from the referee. And still a huge idea of any potential change.
So it looks like it's going to be Katanos heading off here. Andrew Katanos, and good performance from him. Eye-catching this evening.
Number 21 coming on for Heidelberg. There is no 21 on our team sheet. So we'll get there with you in a second. There's the throw in taken. Braden Mann chasing it down. Over the top, Lescano winning the header, Jelenovic. Trying to get a toe on the ball. In the end, just whacks it forward, giving Braden Mann something to chase. And returning the favour down the line. That's out of play, kept in the end, as far as Cahill. Lescano, heavy touch from Dom Smith. And he's lucky to get away with that one with Ellis pouncing. Looks down the line to Holden. Reed makes a sliding challenge. Puts it out for a throw-in. It'll be Smith to take. Goes quickly to Dance. Sends his teammate in a bit of pressure there. Gets it back to Mulraney. Now Stone. He thought about passing it to Jesse Dance in the centre of the park, but went to Dom Smith. Pace does well to nip it in. Now Jelenovic, who's 1v1 with the sandwich, Ruben Way. Composed stuff nearly. Jelenovic just doing enough. Whacking it back in the middle of play. Michael Holden, the keeper, is back in position. Good touch initially from the Strikers. Calls for a free kick and given. Free kick on the edge of the area for the Strikers. And that's got the home faithful excited.
It has indeed. Heidelberg not happy. They're thinking a little bit of theatrical work there from Joel Stone on the edge of the area. So he takes the tumble. And this could well suit the left foot of Michael Holden. He's just a little bit panicked at the back there. Lack of composure. The keeper got himself into trouble. There's confirmation of the sub there. The mysterious 21 is in fact Attila Offley. We've got now as 25, so Attila, who I remember for Hume City in the pre-season coming down here and playing a couple of Tasmanian teams. Very lively customer up top. So is it going to be Braden Mann or Michael Holden over this dead ball? As Petrie comes up, and everyone being called back here for Heidelberg. This is the moment for Devonport. They've struggled to create chances. They've now got a look here. Michael Holden, surely the left footer, favoured for this one. Will it be the striker skipper? Big moment in the game. Time running out for the Strikers. They might not get a better opportunity than this. It's going to be Holden. He goes low. Want to fool the wall. They didn't jump. There's poor contact in the end. Now Bo Blizzard. Shut down by Attila. Nice work there. Bounding forward. There's Joel Stone beating one. And then dropping back in defence nicely was the Petrie dish. Just shutting that one down. Smith heads forward. Attila with another touch. And now Cahill. Cahill sends it across for Zara. Zara running at Bidwell. Slides it across for Ellis. Lovely ball. This is building nicely for Heidelberg. Just overhit the cross for Cahill. There's Ruben Way trying to pick him out there. Not quite able to land the killer blow just yet.
Judged to have been flicked off the head of Cahill by a Devonport Strikers defender. There's Ruben Way advancing down the line. And Heidelberg, as we can see, not in a huge rush to take this throw in. Looking to push on for a third to really put this game to bed. It's Mulraney rising high. Falls to Stone. Trying to work their way down the left-hand side are the Strikers. Holden, a constant battle down that left-hand side. It's Petrie coming across to close him down. Throw in. Taken. Devonport scrapping to try and get out of that little box down there. They'll eventually get it free here and look to play in Eddie Bidwell. A willing runner as always is Bidwell. He's got Jelenovic on his outside. Looks to go in that direction, but Way does well enough to clear. He'll get a second attempt to gain some distance. It'll be Mulraney versus Cahill. Mulraney was hoping Dom Smith was in that general area, and he was, but couldn't quite find Braden Mann in the end, who looks to have moved out to more of a left wing role. here this evening.
So the hyphenator, happy to eat up the seconds here. Not far away from completing the job. Jelenovic. Now Blizzard. Back in the Jelenovic direction. Good sliding challenge there from Ruben Way. Tiller. Way again. Drives it down the line. Broken up by Bo Blizzard. Does it nicely. Centrally for Dance. Dance just puts it out in front of Dom Smith, but sliding in and playing it off of Smith there was Reed, and they'll get the throw in.
I'm really impressed with Harvey Reed in this game. Outside of Ellis, he's probably been my man of the match as this one goes to pace. Again, launching it long. Mulroney winning the first header. Blizzard and Jelenovic between them. Now Bidwell. Blizzard gets past one. He's got a second to beat. Crunching challenge from Ruben Way. And a free kick given, which Heidelberg's bench are absolutely up in arms about. Now protesting that one strongly, the Burgers staff. And came crunching in. So we have a look at the replay. And the free kick has gone Devonport's way.
Oh, Blizzard certainly made sure that once contact to be drawn, he just thumped the shoulder in there. So see why the Heidelberg bench was up. It's a very tough coming together. But it leads to a chance for the Devonport strikers here. They might not get too many more. Joel Stone, his delivery hasn't been good enough tonight. What can he do this time? That's much better. Oh, what a save! And then poked home by Mulroney! And Devonport have levelled it! Kieran Mulroney! The most unlikely of sources, Kieran Mulroney. It was a great save from Theodoridis Petropoulos in the first instant, and then poking it home from a yard out. The centre-back will out of pretty much nothing. Devonport strikers have made it 2-2. There's a contentious free kick that Heidelberg will be thinking back to that one. But finally a great ball in from Joel Stone. It's a good initial header off the post, and then to tap home from a yard out. Braden Mann whipping the crowd into a frenzy. We'll see how they go, keeping their composure after having scored that goal, the strikers. But gee, Valley Road is rocking. Absolutely, they are up and about. They've been brought to life. The late equaliser from the centre half, Kieran Mulroney. Spare a thought for the goalie there. What a first save it was initially. Tipped it onto the post. Mulroney was there to tap home the rebound. And Devonport, well, Heidelberg looked like they were cruising towards a victory. We might just be headed for another 30 minutes now.
There's a very long conversation between the referee and George Katsiakis on the touchline there. I think Heidelberg probably would have preferred to take the kickoff a bit quicker, really get Devonport while they're got the adrenaline running and maybe not quite thinking of their defensive responsibilities. As we see Jelenovic going forward to Mann. Good toe in from Way. As far as Dance. Dance manages to find Turtle Holden. He's got the matchup he wants against Reed, but Jinx inside. And there's good challenge from Hall. Still going is Turtle Holden.
Oh boy.
And he's not happy with that refereeing decision. Is the substitute.
Oh, and the Valley Road crowd has come to life here all of a sudden. And I'm not sure about that decision, but it's gone the way of the strikers. And suddenly they've got a free kick, and it's all unravelling a little for Heidelberg, who've been frustrated by a couple of these decisions, and they're letting it get to them. It's fired the crowd up. It's fired the strikers up. It's 2-2, and suddenly another set piece here for Devonport.
We saw this happen in the first half, though. Devonport really got on top. And then towards the end of the half, Heidelberg just snuck their way back in. The home crowd here at Valley Road really trying to push them on. There's plenty of talkings to going on between the referee and the players. As a slice of cheddar is dished out to the substitute, Lewis Hall. His height will be important from this set piece. Everyone, Bo Blizzard and Eddie Bidwell forward for the strikers. Stone towards the back post. Headed clear. Keeping possession. The strikers looking to chink one way, then the other. Looking for Mulroney, fires the shot, well blocked. In the end, from pace. Bidwell didn't quite get the direction you want on that, and Heidelberg could be in here. It's Turtle Holden against Adrian Zara, who's bashed out of the way of the ball. It's now Hall to Cahill. Back to Reuben Way. Long ball from the Iceman Biles to nobody in particular, and the Gordon Rimmer stand is particularly enjoying that one.
And the Iceman just melting temporarily there. With a lack of composure on that pass as Joel Stone again the target. The strikers want to keep at them here. Joel Stone trying to get behind at pace. Having a run at the centre half. Cutting back onto his right. Not getting any separation though. That's very well defended from pace. And then Stone just trips him up out of pure frustration. Beautifully done, as we're told there'll be 5 minutes of added time here.
Surprised there's not 6 or 7, to be honest. We've had a couple of long delays here. Not probably as many substitutions as normal, though.
Knocked long. Cahill flicks on nicely. That was a clever little header. And then they work it further afield for Attila, who couldn't get past Mulroney. Centre half winning that battle. And he chips it down the line. Only pace back there for the Burgers, though. Cahill brings it down. Cahill launching one from range, but it's over the bar. And again, drawing the Bronx from the VRE, but that wasn't too far away.
No, he finally had time to both control the ball and then turn to face the goal, did Cahill. It's something he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity to do in this match, as we now have 2 bowls on the field. Pitchford running across.
Look at the
to clear that one. He's clearly sensing a bit of momentum here, is Pitchy. Really wanting to get this one upfield as quickly as possible. Attila Roffley, if I do remember correctly, from pre-season, a very pacey customer. Andy Bidwell will want to keep his defensive duties pretty sound in the next few minutes. Devonport, what can they do down the line? And a little bit of afters afterwards, and Heidelberg win the throw-in.
Yeah, I don't mind the urgency from Devonport looking to open up and attack in these final 5 minutes. I think you're better off having 5 minutes of fire wagon football, end-to-end stuff. You've probably more chance than over the half-hour extra time period where perhaps the extra class of Heidelberg might just come to the fore a little bit, and maybe even the fitness as Ellis tries to slide that past Lascano. The Spanish Ledley King, imperious as ever. Smith steals a few and then launches it long in the Michael Holden direction. It's nodded down there in front of the famous Gordon Rimmer stand here at Valley Road. Braden Mann the target. He's been pretty well held tonight, Braden Mann. His work rate off the ball has been phenomenal as usual, but his impact has been lessened a little as Attila Offley works it to Cahill. Cahill sends it wide and a chance for Ellis. He'll want to get onto that left foot of his. It's Ellis crossing. The cross is blocked. Heidelberg getting back on it quickly. It's the Petri dish. Out for Ellis. Sean Ellis swinging the cross to the back post. It's Attila Offley. Couldn't beat Bidwell in the air. Jelenovic is back there for the strikers. It was a poor effort at a clearance. Eventually works it up to Mann. Back to Jelenovic. Jelenovic walks the tightrope, then charges forward. Good stuff this from the Croatian. Adriano Jelenovic slides it through for Holden. Holden's got Bo Blizzard in support. He goes further for Joel Stone. Stone stops it. Back to Blizzard under pressure. Ellis working back. Now it's Dance. Dance with a shy from range, but it was always high and wide. It's probably one of the better passages of play Devonport have had tonight, Paul.
Yeah, certainly. Flowing from one end to the other. Jelenovic using those fresh legs and working well down the line with Braden Mann. Dance probably just needed to look up and control the tempo a little bit more and maybe look for Jelenovic again on the right-hand side. Just peeling off into some space was the Croatian. As Theodoridis Petropoulos launches that one long, and again a towering error from Kieran Mulroney. Chip through ball looking for Holden, calls for handball, not given. And finally the Devonport fans are getting on the back of the referee. Down the line. Just working its way out for a throw-in. And Devonport, I have to tend to agree, will look to push on in these last 3 to 4 minutes rather than try to go through the whole of extra time. And that one's hoofed clear. It'll fall to Reed. It'll be Harvey Reid to take the throw in. Down the line towards Cahill. Mulroney again clears it. Heidelberg gaining some territory in the last few minutes. It's Reid. Towards Cahill again, turning, jinking. Eventually beaten out by the strikers, and just leaving it behind was Turtle Holden. Another calls for a free kick, not heeded. Offley flicks it on, but Pitchford comes out to claim, and Braden Mann wants this one quickly into the gap. Eventually goes to Bidwell, who can't keep it under his spell. Back down the line, and Heidelberg are on here. It's Offley. Down the line, surely a shirt pull there from Joel Stone.
It's got to be a slice, surely.
Got to be a slice.
And indeed it is. Joel Stone into the book. A shirt grab and stern examination of the Strikers' defence coming up here. We're in the dying embers of regulation, locked at 2-2. Kieran Mulroney pulling the Devonport Strikers back on terms. Heidelberg have certainly had the better of the contest, no doubting that, but Devonport have been plucky in taking their chances and defended pretty well under a lot of pressure here this evening. And they're about to face a little bit more, as it's Petrie, Jack Petrie standing over the dead ball. Some sizable figures to pick out. Substitute Hall in particular. He sends it to the back post. It's chipped the keeper and in the back of the nets. The Petrie dish might just have won it to the death. Jack Petrie, what a goal!
Oh, right where the Spiders live, Jack Petrie. You could not hit that any better. And he said Heidelberg. He's eliminated Devonport Strikers with an absolute beautiful finish. This Jack Petrie took one look up. Pitchford took 2 steps forward just to try and cut off the ball, and he's managed to chip him into the top corner. And Devonport are dejected. Heidelberg from the last gasp winner. And the Burgers are up and about after that one. Jack Petrie, who's been one of the best players on the park this evening, has deflated Valley Road, and you could hear a pin drop on the far side of the ground.
A moment of magic, real shades of Ronaldinho at the 2002 World Cup there. The keeper takes a couple of steps forward, and he's got no way to recover. Lobs him, and that could be the decisive moment, as that'll be dealt with comfortably there at the other end, and he'll lead up plenty of seconds, or perhaps not. Gets to move quickly. It matters not. The final whistle blows out around Valley Road, and Jack Petrie is the hero for Heidelberg. A stunning free kick right at the death has won this game for the Victorians by 3-2. Kieran Mulroney giving Devonport late hope, but the class has won out at the end of the day, Paul Hunt.
Yeah, eventually rising to the top, the NPL Victorian champions. Devonport gave it their absolute all throughout the entire match, but in the end, the reigning NPL Final Series champions move on to the next round. You've got to say, over the balance of play, probably just deserved the victory. Devonport defended well, particularly in the early phases of that second half. And in terms of a man of the match, I can't look past Sean Ellis. I thought he was exceptional throughout today, but full credit to Devonport. They really did Tasmania proud, I think, in this game.
Yeah, the big underdogs heading into this one. There's no doubt against the Victorian champions, the defending national champions. They gave them a tough fight. They defended well. They were up against it. They were massive underdogs heading into it. They took them till the final middle of the game, and a moment of pure magic from Jack Petrie has won the game for the Burgers and will send them on to the Final Four. A fantastic goal to seal it and break the Strikers' hearts after Valley Road had just been ignited in the moments beforehand. It was not to be. Having a look at the goals on the match, a very fortunate own goal got things started for the Devonport Strikers, and they defended that 1-0 lead pretty well until the final 5 minutes of the first half, and they just seemed to switch off a little at the back. They were brought undone. The magic of Sean Ellis twice unlocking him here. Really good advantage there. Kept his balance, threaded it through. Just far too big of a gap there. A classy finish. That made it 2-1. And that seemed like it was going to be the final score. We were in a bit of a holding pattern for much of the second half. Devonport had scarcely created a thing. And then this happens. Joel Stone finally gets the set piece delivery right. A brilliant save is all for nothing. And Kieran Mulroney pokes home But that was not the late drama in this match that we thought it was. The big moment was still to come, and up stepped Jack Petrie to make himself the hero. In the final minute of the game, an audacious free kick, picks out the far corner and wins the game for Heidelberg.
Yeah, a real... As we have a look at the Heidelberg celebrations in front of us, but Jack Petrie has hit that one as perfectly as you can hit a free kick and really set the game for Heidelberg. Struggling to hear myself think here with the Heidelberg song blaring out around Valley Road. And really getting into it.
As an Everton fan, I don't mind this Heidelberg song. I've got my Victorian club sorted out. It's outstanding. It's gonna be a show with the Everton Heidelberg boys there. You know.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Close enough. So there's the pictures, and that's the story from Valley Road, the champions of Victoria. The defending national champions are on route to defending their crown. They're through to the Final Four thanks to Jack Petrie's last-minute stunner. From myself, Andrew Cooling, and Paul Hunt here at the Slice of Cheese commentary team. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. And all the best to Heidelberg as they progress to the next stage of this competition. And to the Devonport Strikers, they've given a good account of themselves in Tasmanian football. It's been a good year for them, and the Strikers have certainly lost no admirers after tonight.
Absolutely not. Thank you very much, everyone.
Box. He's got two to pick out in the middle. He drives it and deflects into the back of the net. It's an own goal, and the Devonport Strikers lead.
Cutting inside. Still going is Schiavo. Plays the 1-2. There's a player open on the far side. First time shot. It's a goal for Heidelberg United. It's this up top, their leading goal scorer in NPL Victoria this year. And he might be in here again. This time it's Schiavo. One-on-one with the keeper. And in a matter of a minute, Heidelberg with 2 goals. And their bench is rocking.
They might not get too many more. Joel Stone. His delivery hasn't been good enough tonight. What can he do this time? That's much better. Oh, what a save. And then poked home by Mullaney. And Devonport have levelled it. Kieran Mullaney. The most unlikely of sources, Kieran Mullaney. It was a great save from Theodoritis Petropoulos in the first instance. Hall in particular. He sends it to the back post and it's chipped the keeper and in the back of the nets. The Petrie dish might just have won it to the death. Jack Petrie, what a goal!
Oh, right where the Spiders live, Jack Petrie. You could not hit that any better. And he said Heidelberg. He's eliminated Devonport Strikers with an absolute